Alright, so the Bug Controlist, which is probably the more interesting one of these two decks at the moment. One you don't see as often. We got some Fatal Pushes, Thoughtseize, the normal hand package. He's also playing Torrential Gearhulk. He's got a 1 of. Cryptics, Rune Snags. An interesting list, for sure. So, Jaden's going to start it off here, however, with a Guiltleaf Palace into an Elvish Mystic on turn 1. So, that is the start that she's going to want. Travis here, we'll see what he has for his turn 1. He's got quite a few 1-drops to choose from here. So, looks like Inquisition's going to be the choice here. So he's going to fetch out a basic Swamp, falling to 19. And Jaden is going to go ahead and reveal her hand. She has Elvish Mystic, Heritage Druid, Elvish Archdruid. It's not even a word. A Court of Calling and a Cavern of Souls. It's a little interesting that he didn't take the Elvish Archdruid here. It tells me he likely has an answer for it when it comes down, however. So, not the biggest concern for him. Jaden will be able to play the Archdruid if she so chooses here. She's going to play that Cavern of Souls. We're going to assume she's naming Elf, of course. It looks like she's going to go for Scavenging Ooze. That's an interesting choice. Scavenging Ooze and another copy of an Elvish Mystic, just different art. I will see what I can do, Hunter. Enjoy work. Enjoy your work. All right, so Travis here on his turn 2, thinking what to do. Breeding Pool and a pass of the turn. So nothing too exciting there. Jaden gets to untap here. We know her hand. It's Elvish Archdruid and a Court of Calling, and she's just added to that a Collected Company. So that is a pretty good one, and I'd be almost inclined to fire it off here while you know shields are down. And I think she agrees. Yeah, she's going to go ahead and she's going to fire off that Collected Company. So Collected Company is just a fantastic card in the Elves matchup, or in the Elves deck, rather. Let's see. She has 2 Shaman of the pack she can get here. That's pretty insane. She's going to go with a Dwynen's Elite for 1. And I believe a Shaman of the pack for the second one. So the Shaman is going to go ahead and drain Travis for 6 life. Bring up Shaman of the pack. There he is there. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent loses life equal to the number of elves you control. So, drains for... Or sorry, only 5 though, because the Scavenging Ooze is not an elf. My apologies. But the Scavenging Ooze does attack, and it brings Travis down to 12 in this case. All right, so Travis here on his turn 3, he's under fire from a lot of elves here. He needs to find something to slow down this board. There is a Maelstrom Pulse in his hand. Does he have any main deck copies of Damnation? I'm curious. I don't see any. And I also don't see any Henny's Expertises. Yeah, Ace the Creator. Elves is always fun to watch. Yeah, he's in a tough spot here. He doesn't have any main deck board wipes. He's going to be staring down these elves until he can kill everyone individually. And with no duplicates in play, or I guess he has 2 Mystics, but that's not the most exciting to Maelstrom Pulse. Travis's turn consisted of Snapcaster Inquisition. The Inquisition should be exiled, but that's not the biggest deal right now. I think she's going to go for the Archer to end the game here, to be honest. Jaden falls to 19. Is he just dead? He can block 4, and he takes 2, 4, 6, 9. No, he'll be at 1. So if she swings with everything, which I think is definitely the correct choice here. Looks like she's just being a little hesitant here. Okay, she's gonna attack here for 4, 8, 11. Travis will block the 4, and he will take 7 and fall to 5. Again, with no main deck sweeper, this is a really rough spot for him to be in against this elf deck. I do want to give a quick shout out here to the Word Master. Thank you for following the channel. We appreciate that. I have sent you your 10% off discount code to top8gaming.com, which you can use today for Modern Masters 2017 boxes. Pretty great deal. $245, 10% off. Yeah, we see there the likely ending there of Travis picking up his cards and just kind of folding to elves there. So let's look at his sideboard. What we got here? We have 2 Ancestral Vision, 2 Lay Down of the Void, 2 Fulminator Mage, 2 Collective Brutality, 2 Engineered Explosives, an Ashiok Nightmare Weaver, a Bitter Blossom, a Fracturing Gust, I don't know what that card says. There's a Thrun the Last Troll. Yeah, there's a card I can't quite read on his deck list here. Stolen something? I'm not sure. Alright. So for his sideboard, what he has here, he's playing 0 sweepers across his entire 75. That just seems so risky. Am I seeing this right? Let's just make sure again. I want to double check his main. Freedom Flare, Snaps, Serum, Inquisition. No, 0 sweepers. Jeez. So for his sideboard, I like bringing in the Brutalities are fine because they get to kill off most of the elves. Engineered Explosives is great. That's probably his #1 sideboard card. Other than that, not much else. Yeah, but 75 no sweepers seems really, really loose. Alright, so Jaden on her side of the field here. What do we have in your sideboard? We have a Kitchen Finks, a Heroic Intervention, an Abrupt Decay, a Phyrexian Revoker, a Reclamation Sage, 2 Malira Silvok Outcasts, an Elvish Champion, a Fracturing Gust, a Golgari Charm, a Lead the Stampede, a Choke, a Chameleon Colossus, and a Dismember. She's only playing 14 sideboard cards. Interesting. 6, 7, 9. Yeah, 14 sideboard cards. So for her sideboard, let's see. I like bringing in Lead the Stampede. I like bringing in Choke. Chameleon Colossus seems very good with the Pro Black attached to it. I also wouldn't fault her for bringing in the Heroic Intervention, thinking that she may run into a Damnation. It's not there. It's still going to be useful because it makes her creatures hexproof. But, yeah, it'll be interesting. Ace the Creator, yes, you are. You're allowed to play up to 15 cards. So she's chosen to play 1 less. If you really wanted to, you could come to a Magic tournament with 1 sideboard card and just have it be your favorite card. Alright, so Game 2 starting up here. Travis is on the play. Again, I'm just not sure how good his chances are without having that escape button, you know, in the form of a board sweeper there. It's just, elves can amass a massive board state very quickly with things like Collected Company, even things like Court of Calling, Finding Dwynen's Elite, you know, puts 2 bodies into play. It's able to build a board state faster than I think Travis can 1-for-1 these creatures. He's playing, let's see, 3 Fatal Push, 3 Brutality total, 1 Abrupt Decay, 2 Maelstrom Pulse. Like, he's not even playing that many. I guess he has Liliana the Last Hope. I didn't see that one there at first, but I'm still not super excited about that. Yeah, this is gonna be a rough match, I think, for him. Yeah, I mean, EE is very, very good here. I will say that. So if he's able to find one of his 2 copies of Engineer Explosives, he's in a great spot. Assuming he's able to get it into a board state where there's quite a few elves. It looks like Jaden's taking a mulligan here. Luckily, elves is a very redundant deck. It doesn't mulligan poorly. So let's see, what do we have here? She only has 1 land and a Heritage Druid, but then she has 2 Elvish Visionaries, Dwynen's Elite, and Elvish Archdruid. I like keeping this. She has a Scry, though. I think she forgot her Scry. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that's very important. I like keeping this because if she's able to find a land within the first 2 draws, she is in a fine spot. Travis is going to start it off here with a copy of Serum Visions. Yeah, if she's able to find a land here, she can go turn 1 Heritage Druid, turn 2 Dwynen's Elite, and then Archdruid on the same turn, thanks to the 3 elves she'll have in play. Travis plays a copy of Mishra's Bauble. It's an interesting one to have in the list here. He is playing kind of a Delirium sort of sub-theme, I guess you could say. He does have the Grim Flayers in his deck. Why is Bauble not coming up? Come on. I know you exist. There you are. So yeah, there's Jaden's turn 1 Heritage Druid. I don't know if she found a land. I didn't see the draw step, but Travis plays a copy of Overgrown Tomb. Looks like he is shocking it into play, and he's going to go ahead and Inquisition her. So Jaden shows him 3 Elvish Visionaries, a Dwynen's Elite, and an Archdruid. Travis is going to go ahead and take away the Archdruid, which I think is fine. It's definitely, if she finds the land, what she's playing next turn. This opens the door. I mean, she can still go next turn if she finds the land, Dwynen's Elite into a Visionary, draw a card, and hope you find a 1-drop elf. But we'll see what happens. She finds Collected Company. That is not an elf, or that is not a land, rather. There's an attack for 1. Travis will fall to 17. End the turn, he will sacrifice that Mishra's Bauble. So he gets to look at the top card of target player's library, and then at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep, draw a card. So yeah, there you see him pointing to the Bauble and saying, I'll draw my card for Bauble. Now the card that was on top of her deck was another copy of Dwynen's Elite, so that's not going to do much at all for her. This one looks to be firmly in Travis's control. If he has this kind of start, I think he's in a good place. But yeah, what is this card? I'm just trying to figure it out here. Stolen. I don't know what this is. All right, so Travis does fetch, gets out a basic land, and then plays Leon of the Last Hope. This is probably going to end the game, in all honesty. It's going to kill the Heritage Druid with her +1 ability. Target creature gets +2/-1 until end of turn. And then Jaden's going to draw a Dwynen's Elite and pass the turn back. So Travis untaps, plays a Misty Rainforest. Collective Brutality, he's going to... it looks like he's just casting it for its Duress type mode. So take a instant or sorcery card from your opponent's hand. I believe he took Collected Company. I didn't quite get a good look, and her graveyard's off camera. Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah, he took Collected Company, which is not the right choice. That's probably the only card that gets really back into this. She found another Heritage Druid, but that's not going to matter. Liliana will just kill that. Or Fatal Push will, sure, that's fine too, whatever. Another elf down. Travis is going to go ahead and sacrifice away that Misty Rainforest on the turn. He's going to fall to 15. Yeah, Travis Travis just now needs to find the way to end this game, and Liliana could just be it. I'll have to see here. All right, Travis untaps here. Far ahead on board. So a copy of Rune Snag. Now Jaden does find her second land. It is a Cavern of Souls, so we can start playing spells. That's something, I guess. Snapcaster, get back Clutch of Brutality. Clutch of Brutality, take a look at your hand. She found a third land as well off the top of her deck with that that Visionary draw. She found a Gilt Leaf Palace. He's gonna discard Rune Snag, so I believe he's gonna be giving the Visionary -2/-2. And no, he's actually draining Jaden. So she's gonna lose 2 life, he'll gain 2 life, and he will take a card from her hand. Now there wasn't anything to take. She only has in her hand right now 2 copies of Dwynen's Elite and 2 copies of Visionary. He tried to take the Visionary. You can't actually do that. It only takes instant sorceries. Cottrell, well, thank you for coming out, man. It's awesome. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I will do my best to answer those questions for you. All right, so we have tap here. She finds a 4th land. We're going to go ahead, play a Gilt Leaf Palace. Sure. Show Travis, rather, an Elvish Visionary, which he already knew was there, of course. All right, we're going to go ahead, play that Visionary, draw another land. So she's found all her lands. Oh, sorry, she found Eternal Witness. That's actually not bad. She can play that next turn, get back Collected Company. It's not going to matter. The Liliana's ready to go off here. And yeah, Ace the Creator kind of pointing out there, Liliana the Zombie Storm. That's basically what's going to happen here. Liliana Emblem is going to go off, I imagine, this turn, and that's going to be Travis's win con. It's just, yeah. Yeah, Brutality's exiled that was Snapcastered. No, Controllers, this is all live. It's playing upstairs from me right now. Okay, Liliana tick up to kill the Visionary instead of making an emblem. Interesting. I guess he wants to keep it around. She is very strong against the Elf deck. So, I mean, something to be said for it. And, I mean, she's not under any pressure. So, it's not really like it's going to be attacked this turn. Okay, so there's the 4th land. Yeah. We're going to go ahead and fetch out a forest here. Jaden thinking over her choices here. We're going to go with that's not going to get you an elf. There's no elf token in play here. She should have 1 elf token only. The first Dwynen's Elite did not trigger. So we'll have to get that fixed. If my spotter is there, I'm not sure if he is or not. I don't know if Martin's there. I don't believe he is. One of those elf tokens should not be there. What is this not coming up for? Come on. There we go. What? Okay, I give up. Cottrell217, thank you very much for following there. We appreciate that. I will send you your 10% off discount code at top8gaming.com for following the channel. We appreciate it. Welcome to the channel, man. Again, if I'm not sure if my spotter's there. Yeah, I think he's also the head judge of the event, so he's kind of walking around, helping at the same time. So it's a little rough. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I'll be right back. 1 second, guys. Sorry about that, guys. I had to go stop that there. Yeah, Ace the Creator. I mean, it's a pretty minor mistake. I mean, it's important here, obviously, but yeah, the elite only triggers if you have another elf in play. Okay, so we just backed this up to before the attack here. Yeah, so we should have him play 1 elite and 1 token because Travis did fatal push one of the elites. So we can still kill both Snapcasters, but she'll have nothing left is the important part. So I'm not mistaken, I think Travis snapped in and fatal pushed the other elite before damage. Another visionary here for Jaden. Okay, there's a Gilt Leaf Palace. Reveals an Elvish Mystic, that's fine. That's awesome, Cottrell. It's a great game to learn. It's a lot of fun. And when you have a good group of guys to learn with, it's even better. All right, so Jaden's going to go ahead and play out a copy of Metal Sentinel and a copy of Elvish Mystic that she did reveal. Liliana should really just tick down at some point to close this game out. Okay. Here comes the attack with the Snapcaster Mages. I definitely block the Visionary. That's not doing much right now. Yep. Jaden falls to 12. The second one does go unblocked. Now there is a Chord of Calling in her hand, so she does have access to get from her deck right now at least a 2-drop. If she wants it, she can get a 3-drop. So if she wanted, she could go get either a copy of Azuri or a copy of Elvish Archdruid. Have to see what she decides on here. We're going to go ahead and we are going to Chord of Calling. Now this is important. The Nettle Sentinels should untap here. She might have missed it here. So Nettle Sentinel doesn't untap on your upkeep step normally. It only untaps when you play a green spell. So Court of Calling allows you to tap creatures to pay the mana cost. So the Nettle Sentinel is tapped when the Court of Calling is cast, so it should untap. Yeah, I think she just realized that. Okay. She does decide to go ahead and get an Elvish Archdruid. Now, I will say for Jaden's benefit, this is the first time, as far as I know, she's played the Elf deck. Typically, she plays Infect. All right, so we're gonna grapple from the past. He revealed 2 Rune Snakes and a Grimflayer. I'd be hard pressed to believe the Grimflayer is not Delirious. Liliana's gonna take down as well, and we're gonna return a Snapcaster Mage. I will say that's a pretty nice little engine he has going there. When the Snapcaster dies, buy it back with Liliana. More value from the graveyard. That's pretty solid. All right, yeah. So if again I'm not mistaken here, the Flare should be Delirious. Land, instant, sorcery, and artifact, and creature for that matter. So there's a Zuri. That's a pretty big one. So green mana, regenerate another target elf. 2 green. Elf creatures you control get +3/+3 and trample until end of turn. So that basically overruns your elves. Now, I would have liked to have seen her tap the Cavernous Souls to cast the Azuri, as opposed to one of her green sources, so she could at least have open another regeneration. She gets a little aggressive here. She's going to attack for 5 with this Nettle Sentinel. She instantly plays the Azuri and then activates the overrun ability of it. But she's not going to be able to... Yeah, that's pretty good. Liliana is going to now Emblem. So what this does, at the beginning of each of Travis's end steps, he's going to get X 2/2 black zombies, where X is 2 plus the number of zombies he already has in play. So the first one's going to give him 2, and then the second one, if nothing dies on his side of the field, is going to give him 4. Then the next one's going to give him 10, or 8, sorry, and so on and so forth. So he'll just keep making more and more zombies and just start overwhelming Jaden here. So this is an attack for 4. Very importantly, Azuri does say another target elf to regenerate. He cannot save himself. Grimflayer does connect. All right, Maelstrom Pulse is going to take out Azuri here. Yeah, down goes the Azuri. I was actually attacked for 6 last turn, wasn't it? Because the Sentinel is a 3/3 on its own right now, thanks to the Archdruid. So the Nettle Sentinel will not untap here. It is going to stay tapped. She needs to find a green spell to be able to attack with that one. Okay, so there's an Elvish Mystic that gets to untap the Nettle Sentinel. Cottrell, the way that X spells work is you pay the colored mana cost, and then X you can pay any amount of mana into to fulfill that requirement. So you can make X equal anything from 0 to 1,000,000 as long as you have the mana to fulfill it. We're going to Snapcaster Mage to destroy the Nettle Sentinel here. It's important here, he is Fatal Pushing. However, he cannot Fatal Push that Archdruid, as the Archdruid is a 3-drop. Now, what I would do here... I would have blocked the Nettle Sentinel. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. You can block Nettle Sentinel with Snapcaster Mage, let Snapcaster Mage die, and then Fatal Push the Archdruid afterwards. I guess he takes 2 damage that way, so I guess he wants to conserve life, but... I think that trigger must have been missed. He put the zombies into play, unless he announced it and we didn't have the tokens out. I'm not sure, but Cottrell, correct. That's right. Yeah. So 1 mana. So if you paid red 1, that means that you get to deal 1 damage. Another Grimflayer attack and trigger. Jaden's gonna fall to 4. She has no cards in hand and nothing on board except for lands. We're gonna go to a game 3 is my guess. Travis, I believe, misses another trigger on his Liliana emblem, which is a little awkward. Yeah, it doesn't matter. She has nothing, so it's just game over. What are we doing? No, okay, you can't miss those triggers. It's on your end step, not your opponent's. So those are missed triggers. Again, it's not going to matter. He's got 10 damage coming across, so she is just dead. But all right, we're going to get a game 3 here. Very importantly for this game 3, Jaden with elves will have the play. No problem, Cottrell. Alright, so we got about 18 minutes left here. Probably have about 17 once players are done shuffling and mullying, a lot of good stuff. Jaden's deck can definitely win that fast. There's no question about that. Travis's deck, I believe, can win that fast. For sure. But I think he needs to be a little more aggressive with Liana. He held on to her for a long time. And I do agree that she's very, very good in the elf matchup. But I think he needs to make sure that if he gets behind on board, Liliana can't really be used that defensively. He needs to start firing off emblems sooner if he can. There's no guarantee he'll be able to, of course. But if he does have the option, I would like to see it be cast a little bit sooner. But here we go into game 3. All right, Jaden gonna go ahead and draw her 7. So she again does have choice. Cottrell, I mean, any deck can be fine for a beginner. I see most of the time red is usually the deck color of choice, red or green. But I mean, realistically speaking, depending who's teaching you and how skilled they are themselves, anything could really work. So probably not blue, because blue doesn't really play Magic normally. All right, so Jaden has a turn 1 of the Lana War Elves. Travis has Inquisition of Kozilek. He's going to take away Shaman of the pack. He's also going to play a copy of Mishra's Bauble. Eternal Witness is the draw here for Jaden, so not too exciting. She does not have a second land just yet. She does have a Visionary to try and draw it here. Now, the Elf deck does typically play very few lands. In fact, she is playing 16? 15. Wow, that's very, very little. Ace the Creator, we had 25 players today. Cottrell, don't apologize, man. Ask as many questions as you need to. I have absolutely no problem, and I'm sure Ace the Creator has no problem helping as well. So ask away if you have questions. All right, Travis did crack the Bishop's Bauble end of turn there, and then drew his 2 cards for the turn. 1 thanks to the Bauble, 1 of course for his turn. Plays his second land. It's a forest, so if he has Grim Flare, he could play it here. Looks like he's looking at Collective Brutality, which is pretty good. He'll get to kill Lana War Elf and probably look at her hand, is my guess. Yeah, is going to kill Lana Orel for sure. And yeah, again, look at her hand. So he sees there is 2 copies of Eclectic Company there though. So she also has a Heritage Druid, which is not coming into play anytime soon. Well, coming into play this turn probably, but okay. I guess that's fine. Yeah, I guess that's fine to play out the Sentinel here. She can play Heritage Druid next turn and then have 3 mana with her elves to play more. Tar Pit in the pass of the turn from Travis. Elvish Archer is the draw. That's a pretty good one. Yeah, so we're going to have Heritage Druid come down. We're going to make 3 mana. We're going to play an Elvish Archdruid, which lets you untap Metal Sentinel. So this is Heritage Druid here. 1 mana, 1/1. Tap 3 untapped elves you control. Add 3 green to your mana pool. So you saw Jaden there tap the Nettle Sentinel, the Elvish Visionary, and the Heritage Druid itself to make 3 mana, play the Archer, which untapped Sentinel, then Sentinel attacked for 3. So Travis does fall to 16. Now Travis does have a copy in his hand I saw of Engineered Explosives. So he is able to play it if he would like on 1 and crack it. He gets his another basic land out of his deck with that Pluto Delta falling to 15. Yeah, he's going to go ahead and play out this Explosives. And he's not even going to waste any time here. He's just going to go ahead and pop it right away, which I think is totally fine. So there's the Explosives there. So an X mana spell with Sunburst. So Sunburst, if you're not familiar with Sunburst, it comes into play with as many counters as colors of mana used to cast the spell. So he used, in this case, just blue. So it came into play with 1 counter. And then he sacrifices to destroy all permanents that with CMC 1. So destroyed the Sentinel and the Heritage Druid. Cottrell, exile means that it has been removed from the game completely. So you have a graveyard, which you can usually interact with a lot more. And then you have exile, which is just out of the game, and it's not impossible to get things back from there, but there are very, very few cards that get cards back from exile. So pretty much exile just means it's gone for that game. Alright, so we have a Nettle Sentinel and then 3 mana to play Eternal Witness, get back Shaman of the Pack. And an attack for 2 with the Visionary. Brings Travis to 13. Travis is going to shock himself down to 11 with that Breeding Pool. Fatal Push in hand. Two mana, we're going to cast Grapple with the Past, Rune Snake, Fatal Push, and Snapcaster. I feel like Snapcaster is a pretty easy choice here. Yeah, he agrees. So Travis's hand right now, I know for sure he has Snapcaster and Fatal Push. I don't know what the last card in his hand is, but so Jaden finds an actual second land finally. She wasn't really needing it, it turns out, but Elvish Mystic, we're gonna make 5 mana. We're gonna play Eclectic Company, it looks like. Yeah, we sure are. This is good. Cottrell, Instants and Sorceries. The difference is the entire timing of them, for the most part. Instants can be played whenever you have priority. So on your opponent's turn, on your own turn, after your opponent casts a spell, really whenever you want to play it, as long as you have priority. Sorceries can only be played on your main phase. unless something else lets you do it at a different time. But okay, so I believe we still have 1 mana floating here. That's not really going to matter, but she did get a second copy of Archdruid and then a copy of Azuri. So we can attack here for 3, 7, 9. Mystic just came into play, so that one can't attack just yet. I believe we're going to see Snapcaster Fatal Push. Yeah, he's going to Snapcaster, block Eternal Witness. He's going to take 7 and fall to 4. And then we're going to go ahead and push Azuri out of the way, which I think is a fair choice. Here's the problem again, though. Travis is in that spot again where a board wipe would be fantastic. He doesn't have that in his deck. Mishra's Bauble, Tarmogoyf, sure. We're going to check the size of Tarmogoyf here. We have Artifact, Instant, Sorcery, Creature, Land. I think that's it. Artifact, Sorcery, Instant, Creature, Land. We haven't seen Planeswalker yet. We haven't seen Enchantment. And we haven't seen Tribal. So we only have 5. Yeah, Witness does die. It's not an elf, it's a human. So you're not able to pump that up with Elvish Archdruids, of course. Oh, Cillian 4 mana Lasham, that's fine. Haste means that the creature, it's usually on creatures. Haste means that you're able to attack with it or activate its abilities at right away. Alright, so Jaden, I think, is just going to play a copy of Shaman of the Pack and kill Travis. Yep. Yeah, he was dead no matter what he did there, so. Yeah. So Jaden does win round 1.